Hi everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. So let's go into the topic for today, which is beliefs related to the ankles chakra, the feet, in the emotional of Capricorn, del mes de Acuario. So just to remind you that tomorrow we finish with the emotional week of Capricorn, and we still have 10 days more of the physical aspect of Capricorn. So even though, remember that we are doing this according to the Atlantean calendar, which is not about astrology, okay? So according to astrology, the tropical astrology, today we begin with Aquarius. So today we begin the energy of Aquarius, even though we are going to keep working with Capricorn. Okay, but it's good to know that today we start with this new energy. So let's begin with this really good topic for today, which is beliefs. And this is something that we cannot escape. Sorry, but nobody can escape from beliefs. And now we are to understand why we cannot escape from our beliefs and how we can handle them. Also, trying to understand the origin of this concept, which for sure many of you, like I did until today, we thought it was related to the mind. It's not. So let's go into this topic. So just to remind to all the people that are joining us right now, and maybe you are saying, what is this? What is this madness? So I remind you that you have the blog where you can find all the information of what we are doing every day. And also, I thank you all who are helping me to share the blog. So another thing to say is that remember that in the blog you have all the information, everything that we have done until now, all the history, all the data, all the questions, answers, everything is there in the blog. So you can go around not only to read the post of every day, and also to let you know that we are doing this for free every day with the help of all of you being part of the foundation. So if you are asking how can I help so I could keep on going with this, you can also find in the blog how to collaborate to help me do this all the time. Okay. Okay. So another thing to say for you to understand how this works. The reason why I don't say in the video what is the topic of the day is because I don't know. Basically, it's because the videos are programmed in a calendar. Okay, so they are all programmed for you to know where they are going to be, but the content of the video I don't know until the day of the video. So I write during the information, and then I realize what is the topic, and then I explain it to you here. But it's things for every day. So so that's why I cannot announce what is the topic for the day. So first of all, when we think about what is a belief, usually we bring this idea that a belief is a thought, a thinking, an idea, a pattern of thinking that you have in your head that is constantly brought once and again by your mind. That's a perception that we have of belief from our point of view today. So another way in which we can understand through concepts what is a belief is, like, for example, if the system through thousands of years or centuries repeats once and again, this is black, this is black, this is black. At some point you will say this is black, okay? But it's a very much easier way to say that this is black and you to believe it, which is basically in the moment you are born, your mom or your dad telling you this is black. And that's it. For your whole life, you will believe that this is black. And unless someone teaches you the opposite, you will still believe this is black. So a belief should be something that repeats itself so many times that ends up being a truth for me. So one factor that we used to say about belief is that we think that a belief is something that you repeat so many times that ends up being a truth. But it's not that. You just have to remember your school. When you were to school, for sure, repetition was a kind of way, a system that teachers used for us to learn. But how many of you really learned by repetition? That's very difficult because they make you repeat and repeat and repeat and once and again and once and again. You don't really get the information when you repeat it because your brain says, I don't need this, so I will take it away. So when we used to say, when we talk about repetition, people used to believe that when you repeat, you will learn. But you are not learning by repetition. You are memorizing, which is totally different. When you learn something, that means that you are in process of apprehension. Apprehension means that you are taking that information for you as part of yourself. Okay? So when you memorize something, is that you are not remembering this for you, you are just having that data and encoding that data for you. But that's it. So that thing, the repetition, like for example the ABC, A B C D E F G, or like all the A. Why do you learn the ABC? Because you repeat it constantly, all the time. But you are not learning ABC. You are just, the only way you can learn the ABC is when you ask yourself why the A is the first one, why the B, why then the C. You know, when you try to understand the origin of that to get it for you. Otherwise, you are memorizing. No consciousness. So the key that you need in order to create a belief is the emotion. Without emotion, you're not assimilating that information as a part of you. Without emotion, you don't get that data for you. You just memorize things that then you will forget. And then you will forget. So according to the emotion of what we feel when we achieve something, we create a new belief. And why is that? Why is the emotion? Because whatever you assimilate for yourself, you have to feel it within yourself before adapting it as a part of you. Otherwise, it's just data. Today maybe is silly, but for sure the first moment that you were able to say the alphabet all together, like A, B, C, D, E, F, G, all together, and you ended up doing it by your own, there was an emotion that you felt like, I did it. And when you had this emotion is the moment when you learned the ABC. It's not because you were repeating it, it's because of the emotion of achieving it. Okay, that's the moment when you got it by the emotion. So this is why we know everything through beliefs, because of this emotion. For those who hate languages, I'm sorry, but I love etymology. The word believe, sorry, in Spanish, querer, that comes from cred, means heart. And der comes from the, that means to put. Heart, put. So belief, creencia, comes from the word action of putting something within the heart. So belief, creencia, has nothing in common with the mind, with the brain, with thoughts, ideas. No. So I believe, creencia, comes only to me, it becomes to me in the right moment when I feel an emotion. And it's only through the emotion that I put that in my heart. So it becomes a part of me. So I believe it's not what I think, it's what I feel. So the etymology of believe comes from be, which is to be, and leuf in the European, that means love. So to believe in English means to be in love. Do you think that this is amazing that two such different languages that sound so different, they got the same origin, same feeling? Okay, so here comes the concept of I believe. In order to believe in something, I have to feel something. I have to be in an emotional relationship with something. Otherwise, I cannot feel. So the only way you can believe something is when you are in love with something, that you are in a relationship with an idea, with something. So here it comes. If I believe is something that in order to have it, I need to feel it. So sometimes in our cultures, we think that that's what we call faith. Faith is something that you feel, that you just, and it's not. It's exactly the opposite. Faith is a complementary of belief, but it's not a synonym. Faith is in the mind. And we have believed for so long that faith is in the heart, but it's not. So here comes one of the most amazing energies of the day, starting Aquarius, breaking all these concepts of the patterns in Capricorn. So let's go to faith. Fe en español y faith en inglés provienen de. So let's go into what is faith. Faith comes from the Indo-European faith. Faith. Faith means, how do you say this in English? Someone who assists you. An advisor, maybe? I guess. Advisor. So it's like an advisor, which is the one that assists you. Someone that is assisting you. Assistant from the Latin word, the ones that is seated with you to discuss. Is the one that is seated with you. The assistant, the one that sits. Okay? To try what? To try to convince you. To try to convince you. About what? About a law. And what is law? Something legal. You see how it comes? So, what is faith? Faith is talking about something that I hadn't felt, that I had no idea, I had no experience at all, but someone sat with me to explain me and try to convince me that this word that this person is telling to me is a law, is something true. So I believe that just because that person convinced me, okay, because that person was helping me to understand something. So I now believe that this is true. I have faith because I have never experienced that before. I just trust that person that told me that. So, remember, what is faith? Faith is an idea. Faith comes from the mind because it is related with something. The faith is related to an idea of someone telling me what to believe. In a book, for example, is a word that is said. So I believe the word that someone explained me. In a book, a tradition, a religion, like in the Torah, the Quran, the society, the politician, the law, the lawyer, mom, dad, a partner, a lover. So it's a word that you speak, and the other person convinces you that that word is true, is the law. Okay? So faith is related to the ability to speak and convince the other. And convince comes from the etymology to defeat altogether. That's the word. Convince someone is to defeat the whole thing together. So faith has not the ability to feel. The people that has faith is the people that hasn't the opportunity to feel. So accept the word of others, the truth of others. So, for example, many of you, if you hadn't feel or had the experience of what I am saying, for sure you will have faith in me because you hadn't experienced that, but maybe you accept what I say. So if you accept what I say, you have faith in what I say. But will come someday the moment when you had the experience and live by your own self these things that I'm saying. So that's the moment when it will turn in a belief, because you had the experience. So now we have here an external and internal ways of seeing this. Faith comes from faith, which is to convince from the mind. And then from the internal point of view, I have belief, which comes from care, heart, which is the emotional aspect. Emotional aspect. Okay. So, in the external aspect, the word, the verb that will bring in one word all this concept of the mind, convince, and so on, is to trust. Trust in English comes from another etymology, but we can call this confidence. To have confidence in something. So we have the same etymology. Confidence. Okay? Vale. So this is the verb that makes a summary of to convince through the mind. Okay? Confiar, confidence. And then from the heart, and then from the internal aspect, I will have to put together in the heart everything that I feel, that I believe, in only one verb. So from the internal point of view, we have that all these concepts must come back to the heart. So we need only one word that brings me to the idea of what it is to go back to the heart. So again, like here, we have in English, remember. But the way in which we will relate it will be recording. Comes from cord, also the heart, quierd. So it is to remember, to put everything together, register all the data within me. That's recording. To put everything in the heart. So, let's try to understand this. In order to find out who I am, to go to the deepest part of myself and understand what am I have to remember, which means to go back, to put everything together again, to the records that are in my heart, which is to come back to see what I have, what do I have within in my heart. But that heart kept all this information inside because of your beliefs, because the emotion of the beliefs that you storage through thousands of years through your life. So your beliefs are the path, the map to lead you, to guide you to your heart, to who you are. So when we say sometimes we have to get rid of the beliefs because they mess up with your mind, it's not that. The belief is the path through your heart to let you know what you have become. The beliefs are your tools to know what you are now. So our path is not about to eliminate beliefs, to get rid of the patterns of belief. What we have to do is to put consciousness, clarity to our beliefs, to understand what they mean, to become aware of them so we can use them. To put awareness to what I feel. So the task for today regarding this issue is to write down your beliefs and try to understand what are they in my life. How can I use them? How can I bring clarity to them, to understand where they came from and why do I need them? And if you want any example, read the blog. I hope this is useful for you now or in another future. La información de hoy. So let's go to the information for today. The vibration for today is view. The statement for today is I am home of apprentices. Today we begin with a new group of concepts that we are talking about every day. The code for today is hydrogen. All the universal space is constituted by the fundamental basis of manifestation and geometry that we call atoms, from the Greek, without any division. The most abundant ones in the universe, around 90%, are hydrogen, H, being at the same time the one of highest quantity in the visible and physical world, in a 75%, meaning generator of water. It's who carries the information of the cosmos consciousness, the memory and record of all we are, we were, and will be. So these next days, we will be trying to assimilate the 12 elemental bases of our existence, the atoms. So we close our eyes, we sit comfortable, and concentrate in your breathing. As I breathe, I let all the weight of my body fall down. As I think about the environment I find myself in, And with my imagination, I start to design this environment as a deep and dark night with a sky full with stars. I observe how in front of me a fire ignites. I can see its beautiful colors, yellow, orange and red, and its flames. Like snakes. I focus in this fire as I feel the heat in my hands, my chest, my face. I recognize that this fire is the fire of my heart, and everything that it's enlightening are my beliefs. I recognize that each one of these beliefs is a process of experience, of learning, of apprehension. Expressed in an apprentice that I incorporate, assimilated within me, in the home that is my body. I realize that I am not alone around the fire, that its light shine on the faces of the experiences of the people that represent those apprehensions of my beliefs. I observe around the faces of my beliefs, emotional beliefs, religious, spiritual, physical, political, philosophical beliefs. All of them are seated around the fire. They are the people that I relate with these beliefs. I observe them. I recognize that all these people, all these beliefs, are just an emotional perception of the truth, of the reality, but they are not the truth. I must accept that they are just my own perception. And by accepting that they are not the truth, I recognize myself free in order to use them to create a new reality, to transform myself. I become aware that all these beliefs are not my goal, that all these beliefs are the path that leads me to my own heart. So I set the intention for them to come to me. I don't have to go looking for them. They must come to me, to my heart. With my hands breathing, I start to attract this fire to my heart and all these beliefs within me. And I sing to them to activate it in my body. In my singing, I bring consciousness and clarity to my beliefs. I am the home of the apprentice. I am the home of the apprentices. I am the home of the apprentices. All the beliefs live in my heart. And I recognize that these beliefs are not using me anymore. From my consciousness, I set the intention that I am the one using them instead for my own evolution, for my being. Take a deep breath, and with your hands start to move this consciousness all throughout the body by caressing, stretching, and yawning. And each one at its own time come back here and now. remember to write down about your beliefs and how to make them into tools. Thank you everybody for being there as always, and see you tomorrow at the same time to close the emotional week of Capricorn.